Hello and welcome to the Sacred Priestess podcast, where I help beautiful awakening women activate their sacred feminine power so that they can find clarity, connection, and confidence in their spiritual healing journey. I am Hayley. Welcome and thank you so much for being here wherever you are in the world, whatever you are doing. Today, as we talk about how to unlock your sacred feminine power. Just over a year ago, about 16 months ago, I was in a free circle held by a beautiful woman by the name of Kiara Nala, if you would like to check her out. And in that circle, we were connecting to Goddess Isis. And I had never been in circle with Goddess Isis before, never meditated with her, didn't know a lot about her. But it was a beautiful circle that changed the trajectory of my work and really created a new chapter in my awakening, in my spiritual journey, and in what I'm here to do as a soul-led service, as my contribution to the awakening. And it was a really beautiful experience. For those of you who are not aware, little backstory: before working with the goddesses, I have been doing this for about 20 years. I've been a tarot reader, a channeler, an oracle, medium, Reiki practitioner. I've done my diploma in holistic counseling. So I've been in this space for a while. And before this, I was mainly teaching people intuition, connecting to spirit guides, and helping people on their awakening journey, especially in those few years after the shmo where we were doing a lot of healing. There was a lot of upheaval going on. But like I said, once I did this circle about 16 months ago, the trajectory of my work really changed. And so, like I said, I've been working with them for around about a year now, these beautiful streams of consciousness, and they really do come forward to help activate sacred feminine power at this time. We are in a real time of stepping into balancing and bringing forward the divine feminine, which is happening in so many ways. We are bringing that forward as women, as priestesses, as we begin to connect back into our feminine power. We are bringing that to human consciousness. We are bringing it to the ley lines of the planet. We are being activated by Dragon Mother energy. They are really ramping up those beautiful dragons and the dragon mothers lately. I mean, over the last little while anyway. But I've really noticed their energy over the last couple of weeks as well, just getting stronger by the day as we do go through this time of bringing back the divine feminine. We have lost the divine feminine in the consciousness of humanity. And so we're bringing back the balance of God, goddess, of divine feminine, divine masculine, and bringing back that balance to patriarchy. So, they're coming forward to do some beautiful work with all of us, activating us in so many different ways. And the thing that I love about the journey that has come forward with them for me and for the people that I work with, the women that I work with and through channeling these goddesses, is that they really allow us to meet us where we're at on our journey. They bring us so much insight into who we are as a person and as a woman, who we are as a human, who we are as a spiritual being, the multidimensional frequencies that they have, but they also, on a human level, bring so much compassion and love, or allow us to open up to more compassion and love for self as we heal and as we grow, as beliefs crumble, as we heal our trauma, as we dive into the ancestral healing, the motherline wounding. They really do bring us so many, these beautiful keys just give us so much insight and such a safe space to turn to when things are going a little bit pear-shaped. So, if we do have healing coming up, if we are faced with a challenging situation, we can turn to these keys, and they really bring us so much love and compassion and insight so that we can trust ourselves, right? I mean, my whole slogan is about finding clarity and connection and confidence, and that's what these keys bring. When we start embodying them on a day-to-day basis, we have that clarity in how to move forward. We have clarity within our energy. We have clarity in our purpose. and our fulfillment. We have connection to ourselves. We have connection to the divine, to Christ Sophia, to our guides and angels, that intuition, that intuitive power that is within us. And in all of that, it brings us so much confidence that we know what to do when we are faced with challenges, when healing is coming up, because we know where to turn, we know what to do, we know how to nurture ourselves, to love on ourselves. We know the little rituals, the little meditations, the ways of being to bring forward into the moment so that we can move through it more gracefully and with more ease and with more flow. So they really do bring through some beautiful, beautiful work for us. And like I said, my relationship with them has grown. And that's why I wanted to do this today, because I did do a podcast quite similar, bringing through these keys when they first came through to me about a year ago. But in working with them since then, like I said, through circles, through the Sacred Priestess initiation, they have also brought through the Sacred Priestess Oracle deck. So I have finished all of the imagery, all the cards are finished. I'm just working on the book, which I've given myself a deadline the last week of June. So by the end of June, the book will be finished at the very, very latest. So I look forward to bringing those through for you. If you haven't seen the cards, just head over to Instagram. I'll pop the link in the show notes to Instagram because I do have them on there. So they've also brought through those that we can use to, just bring us clarity in those moments when we need it and ways forward when we are struggling. So let's get into these beautiful keys. So these are the keys to unlocking your sacred feminine power. And key one is cosmic connection with the seven sisters of the Pleiades. So Maya, Alcyone, Electra, Seleno, Taygeta, Asterope, Merope, the seven sisters of the Pleiades, who bring through so much deep cosmic wisdom. They bring through connection to the ancient civilizations of Mu, Lemuria, and Atlantis. And these are the timelines that are said to be reactivating at the moment, stepping back into the frequency of these civilizations. They bring us connection to Venus. Venus is the planet that, and the deity, the archetype that connects us to the Venusians, that connects us to the path of the rose. As she makes her way through the sky, Venus creates this rose geometry, this geometry of the divine feminine, the geometry of Christ Sophia. They bring us cosmic connection, expansion, connection to our galactic family. And as we begin to tap into this, what this key unlocks is just that understanding that there is so much more here. So many of us have been brought up to believe that it's just Earth and it's just us. And, so many people believe that we are the only beings that live within this vast, vast universe. And they remind us that that is not so, that we are originally, most of us, a lot of us hold cosmic and angelic DNA, and they remind us of that connection. They bring back that connection to us. And that activates that beautiful cosmic DNA within us, cosmic healing within us, and just that connection to all that is. So that's cosmic connection with the seven sisters of the Pleiades. Key 2 is activating our womb wisdom with Goddess Sophia. And I'm not going to go into the whole story of Goddess Sophia. We do cover this in the Sacred Priestess initiation, but she is all about really opening up that rose geometry that I talked about within the heart, within the womb. It's that real deep connection into the womb space, the unlocking of the womb space, the amount of womb wisdom that we hold, the importance of this space, the connection to it, healing this space, our cycles, the initiation of the different phases of womanhood. All of these things that we really need to get back to being into deep spiritual connection with. Loving on womanhood, loving on our cycles, and the connection between our cycle as women and our cycle as beings and the planet, earth connection. The womb portal is in line with the second dimensional frequency, and the second dimensional frequency is earth frequency. It's the telluric realm, so it's your fairies and your pixies and tree beings, rock beings, like that real earth energy. And so it really opens us up and starts us connecting into all of that, understanding the relationship of that. Key 3 is awakening divine magic with goddess Isis. And this is about remembrance of your priestess codes. This is your remembrance of being in these ancient mystery schools with Hathor, with Isis, and for some even further back in those ancient civilizations of Mu, Lemuria, and Atlantis. What Goddess Isis does for us is she really awakens those psychic abilities. She's very good at clearing out and healing, especially out of the womb, the throat, and the third eye, persecution, witch wounding, ancestral patterning, past life blockages that are really stopping you from fully expressing your psychic abilities and your healing abilities, because a lot of us get intuition, but where we get stuck is the following of it or the speaking up of it. So she is very much about standing in your power and standing in your truth, allowing your voice to express the channelings and the intuitions that are coming through for you and not being afraid to actually act on them. Because I am telling you, 99% of women that I work with who come in telling me that they're not very good at it, they don't really have intuition, like they really, really do. They either just don't notice it as such, or they're just afraid to act on it because of all of these persecutions and all of these blockages that Isis really helps us to remove and get rid of. And she really does activate that personal power in standing strong in who you are as a spiritual human being, standing strong in who you are as a woman, having that real strong sense of self, that comes from really, I suppose it's like, they begin to work in combination of just really knowing who you are, which we'll talk about with Mary in a moment. But yeah, just that real deep sense of self-worth and power, and the understanding that as women step into their sacred feminine power, as we start unlocking our intuition, becoming more soul-led, connecting to all of the things, that we really are powerful creators. We are powerful beings. And so that's what she really loves to bring forward, and what she connects you to and starts bringing forward for you on this path. So, key 4 is embodying the sacred feminine warrior with Athena, who is a very gorgeous and beautiful, yet complex consciousness with what she brings forward. What she brought through to us the last time that we did the Sacred Priestess initiation in the last round, she was bringing through the fact that it was very much a time when she was, ruling in as Athena, a very much a time of where it was a real kickoff of feminine suppression. And it was a real time where women started to really be pitted against each other. And the amount of confusion that she brings through, because all of these beautiful women, these priestesses who worked with Immaculate Conception, these priestesses who were so divine in their connection, their intuition, and their mystery school teachings, the path of the rose, they got so confused because it went so quickly from this beautiful feminine energy into all of a sudden the patriarchy. I don't want to say the patriarchy anymore, because I don't think that's true. It's, I won't mention Draco reptilians all the time. I'll say the agenda. But the agenda started really suppressing and manipulating and distorting feminine energy. And what she brought through to us was the fact that they were so naive and so pure that by the time they'd noticed the distortions and what was starting to happen, it was kind of almost too late, because once it kicked off, the swirl of energy and the manipulation of the energy was so fierce and so fast that they kind of couldn't get out of it. And so what she brings through is so much around knowing your own energy field, understanding and feeling into, connecting into, clearing your own frequency. Daily energetic clear outs, daily pulling out of other people's emotions, daily clearing of your own emotions and fears, and cord cutting, and just making sure, because if we are not clear in our own energy, if we don't have a connection to our own energy, we don't know how to feel into it, sit in it, notice it, it's very hard for us to understand what's ours and what's not. And so she does get very passionate about us, really having a clear energy field. And so what she brings through for us, with being a sacred feminine warrior, it is about that. It's finding discernment, detachment, perspective through having that clear space, through knowing your own energy. And also she brings through ancient wisdom. She brings through the connection to past lives, and the wisdom and the lessons that you have learned in order to bring forward and use in this life. So she also connects you. She works with us with the Akashic records in the priestess initiation. So there's a couple of little things that she does with us. But this last time she was very, very, again, passionate about discernment and making sure that you are allowing, especially at this time, especially when there is so much distortion within the grids, distortion within the ley lines, distortion with everything that's going on. It's very, very important for us to be keeping and noticing our energy field. So she teaches us on that. Okay, so key 5, rooting into sacred devotion with Mary Magdalene. And I do free circles, like I said, with Mary Magdalene. So again, hop on to my Insta or join the mailing list. And you'll be notified of when those are coming up. But working with Mary Magdalene is beautiful. She is kicking off, between her and Goddess Isis, but especially Mary Magdalene being the keeper of the rose and this rose lineage, which is really pushing forward and bringing forward that sort of divine feminine power, that sacred feminine rise on the planet. So, again, I'm not going to go into her entire story. I'm sure we all know how distorted her story is. So what she brings to us, though, is that devotion and ritual around our spirituality. She brings to us the importance of connecting into self, connecting into spirit, connecting into the divine every single day, or as often, no, you know what? She says every single day. I'm not going to try to make it that, when you have time, like she's like, no, every single day. She wants everyone to be doing this because, devotion and ritual isn't about sitting in meditation all the time. It's not like, okay, if I'm going to be devoted, I've got to do an hour meditation a day. It's about devotion to self. It's about stopping and actually asking, like if somebody asks you to do, and this is like a very simple example, as simple as when somebody asks you to do something, instead of you going, oh yeah, that's okay, I'll do that for you, that's fine, I'll figure it out, actually devoting that moment to yourself to go, do I actually have the energetic capacity, the time, the resources to do this? Do I say yes or do I say no? Rather than just always saying, yes straight away, without really considering yourself. So it's that devotion to self, devotion to your energy, your boundaries, your time, your body, as well as devotion to your spiritual connection and your spiritual practice in connecting to Chrysophia, connecting to rose geometry, connecting to your womb, your higher self, your cosmic connections, right? So it's all of those things. She also really brings through mastery of self. So it's that, her and Yeshua were really big on those Gnostic teachings to know thyself. So it's really about getting to understand who you are as a human being and who you are as a spiritual human being. Those multidimensional frequencies, all of the things that we have access to, and how to walk with all of that every single day so that you are mastering your healing, you are mastering your reactions, mastering the way that you show up in the world, mastering the devotion to yourself, right? Isis is more about mastering psychic gifts, psychic abilities, intuition. Mary Magdalene is about stepping into mastery of self. So we do talk about that in the Sacred Priestess Mystery School and her time with Yeshua and what she brought to the table in that. The other thing she actually brings through also is support, so spiritual support, so connecting into your guides, your angels. So we do some work with that too with her in the Sacred Priestess initiation, and also the Magdalene Flame, that beautiful, which we'd usually do, that's what usually comes up in the free circle, that alignment between the third eye, the heart, and your womb, and the womb wisdom that comes forward. So that's what the beautiful Mary Magdalene brings through for us. So key 6 is returning to radical self-love with Aphrodite, who I adore working with. Her energy is beautiful and just so playful and youthful and light and loving, and she really brings us that importance of self-love and self-compassion as we move through this awakening. Self-love and compassion as we experience anything in life, right? Whether it's the challenges, the healing, even the beautiful things, right? That we're always showing love and compassion and gratitude. She is also our direct connection to Venus as so she's our direct connection to Venus sort of on a more human level. The sisters of the Pleiades have that cosmic connection to Venus and the planet and the energies and the rose geometry there, whereas Aphrodite brings us the connection to Venus in the sacred feminine balance and womanhood and loving on your womanhood, beauty, pleasure, and all of those things. So yeah, she's also very, very beautiful in the way she shows her emotion, and she is so in tune with and accepting of the depth of her emotion. So she's very accepting of the fact that, yes, she could get very angry, she could get very jealous, she could get very dark, and that was okay. And she holds compassion for herself in that, and she helps us to do that within ourselves as well. But also just, that she was so happy to really just so outwardly express love and happiness and joy, and, not be afraid to show and say how happy she is. I think a lot of us nowadays really dampen our joy because the world seems such a bleak place that a lot of people kind of feel ashamed that they're happy, or you know what I mean? And so she's just bringing that back to us, that the more joy that we show and share on this planet, the more joy will not only return to us, but the more joy we create as a ripple effect around the world. And the other thing that she brings to us, I mean, she brings a few more things in this, and obviously, again, we go deeper into this, but just transformation and understanding your journey and allowing yourself to really sit in the cycles of the Rose of Venus, which I think I have a podcast about that towards the start of the year, maybe season 3, episode 2 or 3, where we talk more about the phases of Venus and those cycles that we go through as we explore and go down into shadow. That's what this Rose of Venus is about. So accepting that transformation, accepting where we're at in the cycle of transformation, and again, showing ourselves compassion and self-love as we walk through that. And the last key is key 7, stepping into soul-led service with Mother Mary. Mother Mary is our nurturer. She reminds us to love on ourselves, to love on our body, to honor our emotions, to just that real mothering energy. She reminds us that we are here to be heart-led, soul-led, that we need our heart to guide us forward. It is our heart that is that direct connection to our higher self. And so when we are needing clarity, to just tap into our heart and feel what is going to be the most joyous path and outcome for us and follow that unapologetically. She brings us truth. She brings us purpose, peace, and safety as we move on our journey. And she really holds us, as I can feel her energy right now. She's right here. And I just feel like I could sink into her arms. That's what she brings us, that safety when we are healing, when things are crashing, that beautiful, it's like she wraps us up in a beautiful warm blanket and gives us a nice cup of tea and lets us know that everything is going to be okay. And she teaches us how to do that for ourselves. That's what she unlocks within us as we move on this journey. So these keys are here to really help us to meet ourselves in our awakening. Like I said, meet our journey with love, with compassion, with ritual, and step into our sacred feminine power in order to help move this awakening forward. It is the divine feminine power that is rising at the moment. This next phase of awakening is all about the feminine coming forward, is all about humanity remembering the goddess. Remember, and there's other, I can't go into this right now. I don't want this to be too long, but I mentioned it in plenty of things about how, we've forgotten the goddess, we've forgotten the feminine part of God. We cannot have masculine without the feminine. We cannot have feminine without the masculine. And the goddess is coming back in a big way. So she just, all these keys and these beautiful goddesses just help you to align with who you came here to be and to express who you are, to become your true self. And it's not that this isn't about being like a better version of you. It's about getting down to your actual harmonic frequency and having that frequency, because while we're healing, we're shedding all the denseness, we're shedding the traumas and the limiting beliefs and all of those things that are keeping our frequency sort of, not vibrating at its highest. So all this is asking, it's not to change yourself, it's just moving all of those things out of the way so that you can vibrate at your highest frequency, your soul's frequency of what you're here to vibrate at. So they are, like I said, a beautiful, safe space to land as we move through challenges, as we move through the shadow. And these mystery school teachings, the energy of the rose, that beautiful path of Venus are all coming back in a big way. Like I said, that Sophianic energy, the goddess is here and at the forefront now, coming to the forefront of this awakening, guiding us all back to where we need to be to align with the new earth. So, they are here to help you connect to yourself, your purpose, to live a beautiful soul-led life. And if you are interested, I am actually opening up some one-on-one sessions. And with these one-on-one sessions, we do a beautiful goddess reading with my Sacred Priestess Oracle. So all of these goddesses are within these cards. And we do a beautiful reading that helps you see what's rising within you at the moment, where your energy's at, what you're releasing, what you're ready to bring to the world in terms of service and purpose. And then we follow that with a clearing and activation from one of the goddesses. So it depends who is wanting to step forward for you that day, who is more within your energy with where it is that you're at and what it is that you are sort of facing at the moment and what you need. So if that's something that you're interested in, I will leave the link below to check out those one-on-one sessions so that you can step into the next level of your sacred feminine power as you move through your own awakening. So it has been so wonderful to talk to you today. Like I said, I will leave all the links to everything below. Thank you so much for being here. And like I said, if you are ready to find your next steps for what's right for you now to, move through what's happening, then book one of those one-on-one sessions below. I will see you again next week. Bye.